Okay then, Helldivers, we are back and we have got loads to go over today as we've just had the brand new Warbond control group release literally just moments ago. And thanks to Arrowhead Game Studios for providing me with the Warbond a little bit early, we've now got a video for you guys to show you everything inside of the Warbond, how it works and the best parts about it and whether you should actually get your hands on it. So with that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button, subscribe with post notifications turned on, it'd be greatly appreciated, and make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSubs, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And we've now got our own tinned alternatives. So make sure you head down to the link in the description and use code CLOUDPLAYS at checkout for a cheeky discount. And we're also giving away a load of Warbonds. If you want to get involved with it, all you have to do is head down to the comment section and put in a lightning bolt. That'll enter you in, and we're going to be announcing the winners to that one later today on the second video here on the channel. So make sure you stay tuned to that one coming up later today. With that being said though, let's dive into the game and see what it is that's happening with the brand new control group Warbond in Helldivers 2. So starting off, we're going to show you guys the primary weapon, the variable. Now this thing is good, but in the same breath, some people are going to be disappointed by this as we are running this on a light pen weapon. This was not what we wanted, and we were kind of expecting this to come up as a medium pen, although what it makes loss for in the penetration, it does make up for in fire rate. As you can see on screen right here, we do have 3 different firing modes, 3 different firing speeds, and 3 different scopes. We have got the auto mode, which will be the most compatible one that you guys are likely to use, as this is going to be essentially running as a mini gun. You can run this up to around 750, and you pretty much have a primary stalwart at your disposal. On top of that, we also have the volley mode. Now, the volley mode turns this thing into a multifunctional shotgun, and it works pretty damn well, especially if you are wanting a weapon that you can utilize that runs essentially 2 different styles of weapons. You already have an auto rifle and a shotgun, and on top of that, we then have the total. And what total does is drops your entire mag in one go. Now this is a very skeptical one because, like we stated, it is a light penetration piece and it is very inconsistent, or at least to my feels on things. I can't imagine many people are going to be using the total variant on top of everything else based on the way that this actually plays. The damage output that it does give will be able to mean that you can take out some things like flesh mobs in around 2 shots, but it stays a little bit inconsistent to what we see on the trailer, where essentially you can take out a Hulk in 1 round. That's just not how it goes. Now, make sure if you are using total that you do have the full magazine reloaded, as it will cause more damage. The less ammo you have in the clip, the main reason for that is going to be that you are going to drop less rounds on it. So it's a good piece of equipment, but it's not going to be something you're going to use outside of the auto or volley at any one time. Overall, a very good weapon though, because you do have those variations. For me personally, it's definitely a usable, and I'll probably use it quite frequently, but I can't imagine the total is going to be worth using unless they give it a buff anytime soon. Moving into the next piece though, we have got the warp pack. Now the warp pack is a very deceiving thing, mainly because if you use this in 3 times quickly in succession, you will blow up pretty damn fast. Just to show you guys where the indicators come from on this though, you will be able to see on screen that the main variable happens quite quickly. You are going to find that once you use your first warp pack, it will be a purple glow. Using the second will give you guys something which looks of an orange glow, and if you do the third one fast enough, it will turn red and blow up. Essentially, the color indication is quite good and it's quite helpful because it shows you guys exactly whereabouts it is that you are at that point in time. If you aren't that sort of person, you want to see the visual effect in the bottom left corner though, we do have the backpack icons in the bottom corner to show you guys exactly whereabouts that backpack is in the cooldown ratio to where it is that you can actually utilize. Now, don't think that you can just use it at any point though, because you can't jump through buildings like a lot of you are probably going to be trying right now, but you can use it to get past obstacles. Another thing that I found quite deceiving though was, unfortunately, the way that this thing has a damage output. It has such a small, tight circle that you can't just really teleport into a group and be able to take things out pretty quickly. You can take out your teammates with it, but it shows exactly how pinpoint accurate you actually have to be. It's a really cool piece of equipment and something that you will have fun with quite a lot over the ongoing weeks, but I don't think it's going to really take out the need for a jump pack or even a hover pack. The novelty's there and it's a fun piece, but I can't imagine this being anybody's everyday use, or at least that's my personal opinion. Overall, though, a very fun novelty piece of equipment for sure. Next up, we have my baby, the Epoch. Now, the Epoch is a plasma cannon, which works really well. It's such a good, fun piece of equipment, and it has a lot more strength behind it than you may actually think. Now, the way that this actually works is it has a charging radius that is on screen. I found it's a lot easier to be able to manage when you are running this in first person, so do bear that in mind because, well, the charge up monitor is directly in front of you on screen. That is something that you are going to want to pay attention to quite greatly, because if you overcharge it, you will blow up and die. But this thing has a very good damage output, mainly for the AoE damage that you can actually utilize. For me, at least, that's how I found it. It does take a little bit more if you're trying to use it for things like Bile Titans, Factory Striders, and otherwise. But if you're just wanting to take out some Broods, some Hulks, and even some grouped up Overseers, this thing is definitely packing a punch. For me, I think it was the fun factor of it, and it's probably going to be taking over the main use that I have for my Commando or even the Quasar Cannon for the next few months, to say the least. It's a very utilizable weapon point that you definitely want to give a go. It will be a bit of a niche one because some of you will like it, some of you won't, depending on how you agree with the plasma. It's not infinite though. This does have ammo capacity, and it's not something that you guys are going to be able to escape. You have got rounds inside of clips at 3 shots per time before you have to reload. It's definitely going to be one of those where you have to make sure that you make your shots count. Next up, the LAS 98 Laser Sentry. Now, this piece of equipment could be probably one of the best sentries that we can operate with inside of the game. It could be, mainly because the overheat on this thing goes so fast. The weaponry itself works really well, and if you've got it around Shriekers, it will target those bad boys quicker than you can blink, keeping things pretty damn quiet for a short period of time. The overheat, though, unfortunately, as you can see via the back of the laser itself, does happen to ramp up very quickly, meaning that it blows up very fast. And if you're standing next to it, you will know about it because it blows up with an explosive damage and will set fire to anything around it. It is a fun piece of equipment, but I do think that it probably needs a bit more of a extended rate in terms of how long it can actually be utilized before it actually blows up. It pretty much renders it really useless. Although the cooldown timer isn't too bad, you are not going to be able to get as much out of it as you probably want if you're in those more hoarded areas, because, well, the more it's firing, the more it will overheat. Overall, it's a fun piece again, but it seems to have a little less likelihood to be used so frequently. There seems to be the trend that I'm seeing with this one, at least. It's a very fun Warbond with a lot of novelty pieces, and a lot of things blow up and can kill you in the process. Another thing that we've got, though, is the G31 Arc Grenade. The Arc Grenade, for me, is, well, you're going to find this one out quite quickly, is that this bouncing bad boy can shoot up to around 7 arc pulses in one grenade. It doesn't just do it statically, though. What you will find is you'll throw down the grenade, and then it will give a arc pulse. On each arc pulse, that grenade will bounce to the next location, pulse again, and bounce again. Meaning that if you put this into a crowd where any of your teammates are, if you think that the K9 is killing people quickly, then this arc grenade is going to definitely be there to cause a little bit more chaos. That's for damn sure. Again, a very fun piece of equipment, but it's something that you need to be very careful with, because, well, this is going to be the team killer that everybody was looking at. And that's just how it goes with this arc gear. Fortunately, though, we do have some very cool armor, which again is novel to say the least, but is not going to be one of your primary picks for a little while. This armor does have an arc resistance to it, and that is very helpful because of the way that this grenade actually operates. But overall, the main passive to this that actually gives you a resurrection is not something that you should be looking at and thinking this is going to be incredible. The way that it actually operates is you essentially get killed, and once you go down, your screen will go black and white with a red pulsate on the end of it. What this is also going to do is deplete your life repeatedly until you eventually die. Now, yes, you can stim to take your health back up to the top, but it will then continue to deplete your health after that, meaning death is inevitable and you will eventually die. But if you want to achieve a hell bomb explosion before you go down, well, you do have enough time to do that, but you can't sprint. So make sure that you are located in the right area before you actually get into these problems. The Armour Passive, again, another very cool piece, but it's not very viable when it comes to the usage. It's just not one of those for me that I'll probably use after this week. Although I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree, this armor set is absolutely drippy as hell. I've been absolutely loving these armor pieces. For me, it's probably one of the better looking ones, and they just seem to be getting better each Warbond that goes by. Now, actually looking at the emotes, we have some very interesting emotes, because one of them is it's a demonic laugh, and it's actually so fun to use when you have some really well team killing moments. It is quite funny to actually utilize. Unfortunately, if you do use it on the Super Destroyer though, sometimes it will bug out and you won't hear any sound. That's at least what we managed to find while we were testing this one out. Overall though, a very good Warbond and a very fun one to say the least. A lot of you guys are going to really end up enjoying this, although you may actually want to just cool down a little bit with some of your original pieces, because it's got a lot of suicidal tendencies in this Warbond. Everything seems to blow up or overheat, and it seems to be one of those novel pieces that we never knew we actually needed. So make sure you go ahead and have some fun with it. Don't forget, you don't actually have to purchase this Warbond. You can just farm for super credits and go ahead and get it yourself very, very simply. So don't feel like you're not going to be able to get your hands on it. You will. You just have to probably play a little bit to be able to get those available. Overall, though, a very good Warbond, and it's definitely one that's probably up there for me. Just could do with a little bit of tweaking, but then can't they all? Nonetheless, though, that's unfortunately all we've got time for today. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button. Subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate your faces. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds.